Yeah, good, thanks.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for accepting my invitation, and thanks for accepting to talk with me.
Yeah, that's great to meet you.
So, can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Okay, so my name's Neil Lawrence, and I'm first of all, I suppose I'm a writer. That's what I do. Short stories. I've had a couple published. By lucky enough to have had it published through two different presses as well, Arachne Press and Incandescent. And I'm also a life coach and an organisational consultant. So I kind of juggle all those things.
Okay, so you are a writer, and I saw you are a business consultant too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, other than writing and business consultancy, what do you do?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm a big music fan. I've got a very old cat that I'm literally looking after right now, just checking on him. Um, I've had kind of been with my partner for 25 years, um, and we live in London. And I suppose socialise a lot, read a lot. Although technically that's not relaxing because it's kind of getting myself ready for writing. But yeah, that's most of the things I do. Yeah.
So, have you published any books?
Mm. So I've had one short story published last year, which I don't have the book. Probably 30 seconds. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay,
Enjoy.
that's what you call being unprepared. This is shows it's kind of fresh off the mind, doesn't it? So yeah, this was published last year. Um, so I've got a short story in that. It's anthology of different writers and poets, published by Arachne Press, called Time and Tide. Um, they run a competition every year, so I managed to get in that one last year. I'm also in it this year with a different short story that's coming out soon. And there's another publisher, Incandescent, who are putting out a collection of stories about outsiders, really. And I've got a story in that about a gay teenager in Wales, and that's coming out fairly soon as well. So, 3 short stories by the end of this year.
Time and tides.
So, yeah, Time and Tide is the first one. Yeah.
What did it mean?
So it's all the stories are kind of connected to kind of being by the sea and set in a certain place and time. So my story in that one is about Jewish refugees coming to Liverpool, which is where I grew up, kind of at the start of the century. Yeah, so start of the 20th century.
Okay. It is a fictional story or a real story?
That's a really good question. So it's not directly my family, and I did quite a lot of research because I didn't really know anything about my ancestors and kind of I knew obviously we came to Liverpool, but I didn't know how that had happened. So it was quite interesting doing uh, the research for that. I'd give it, yeah, the names are very close to my family names in there as well. But strictly speaking, no. But I suppose I was just trying to imagine what it would have been like for my great grandparents coming up and arriving. So I think it was about that really.
So, what is this book about?
What, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all different stories from different people and poems set by the sea, really. So that's the theme that the publisher wanted for the story. So we all had to write to that theme, and it was a competition, and only some of us got through, and I was one of the lucky ones.
Awesome. So, it is a collection of short stories.
Yeah, and poems as well. Yeah.
Okay, so all are fictional, not real.
Well, you'd have to ask the other writers and poets about that. I suppose, I don't know. For me, I think it's impossible to write something that's completely made up. There's always something in everything I write that's true or that's kind of about what I want to say. So, yeah, I think fiction always has that bit of fact in it as well, really.
So definitely, people who are connected to you will be scared. You know, maybe because you may put their character in the book by showing other name and try to explain their things.
Yeah, there's an ethical dilemma about that, about whether you should or shouldn't. Um, I'm not saying anything. No, there's a short story I'm working on at the moment, and I was saying to my partner last night, this is getting closer and closer to being somebody we both know really well, and it's not flattering. So no, yeah, I'll just keep quiet on that one.
Okay. So how many books? Only the one. And do you have any other books which are published?
So, like I say, I've got two. So there's two more books with a short story from me in them, but those books also have other writers. So I've not yet published anything that's just got me in it. But uh, yeah, by the end of the year, there will be three books that have a short story from me in them.
So it is just your experiences, or you are showing other people's experiences too in your books. It can be short stories, or it can be long stories, or it can be a poem.
Yeah, that's why I do it. I mean, I want people to enjoy the stories as well, but I kind of want to write about difficult things that people have gone through, particularly if they've been rejected or they're left out by society. Those seem to be things that kind of attract me to write about, mostly because I've experienced that in life as well, I suppose. That's kind of why I do it. Yeah, yeah. But hopefully funny as well as sometimes scary or difficult. Hopefully both.
Are you good in narrating? Are you good in narrating the stories?
I love doing that. Yeah, I know some people are very don't like reading at all. I love an audience and I love reading my own work. That doesn't mean that other people don't do it really well as well, but I love reading my own words because I hear them and I think, did I really write that? It sounds far too good to be me. And I quite like, and when other people come up to you and say, I really enjoyed that story, there's something about face to face, particularly that feels really nice. Yeah, yeah, no, I do.
So do you take the feedback seriously if it is negative?
That's a really good question. So I belong to two incredibly wonderful writing groups, and they are very loving and kind, but also very blunt. So at the moment, I've been trying to write a novel for, oh my gosh, 8 years, 9 years. I still can't quite get it right. And I got some feedback 2 weeks ago, which was negative, and
Okay.
I didn't behave very well. I really try. Most of the time, I'm okay with it, but if I'm not feeling so confident in myself, it can feel like a really personal attack, even though it's not. So yeah, at the moment, I'm having to do a lot of rewriting on what I read out, and they quite rightly said that it was pants. It it's crap. Needs something doing to it. They didn't say that. That's my words, not theirs. But yeah, on a good day, fine. On a bad day, a bit of a tantrum, to be honest.
So
Get a
you
bit.
said you are a coach. You are coach for?
So I'm a life coach. So I do one-to-one. So I see people on their own, and that can be. I like working with people that have gone through a rough time, just from the perspective that I want to make a difference to people's lives. So if people have had burnout at work, or they're having problems with who they are, their identity, they're being bullied, if they feel trapped, those kind of things. I really like working with that. But I also really like doing business coaching as well, and helping managers, and helping people who've started up in new businesses. So yeah, that's kind of the coaching work. I've done writing coaching a couple of times as well. I've been a writing coach, and that's really nice because it kind of brings together the two different parts of my life, because I do separate them out. So that, yeah, I like that. So yeah, coaching is a great thing to do, because it's all about bringing out the best in someone else rather than telling them what to do. And we get told what to do all the time. So it's really nice just to help someone find, what the good qualities they've got. Yeah.
So you said you are a life coach, right? I have a question. You are into business, and you are into writing, and you are into uh, the third one is you are into
The consultant. So yeah.
coach.
So
You're a
uh,
coach. You're a life coach, and you're a business consultant, and you are a writer. So all
yeah.
these things, I have here. So instead of giving coaching, if you keep on learning, can I say that you can know more about the things which are there on this planet, and instead of wasting time in telling people and giving them knowledge, why can't you learn, and why can't you improve your own knowledge, and why can't you put more information in your head? I
You
This is
can't.
just my question.
Yeah, you can't do one without the other, is the answer. It would be a big mistake. And also, like I was saying, I used to be a teacher, and I don't. Yeah, probably best I don't talk about that actually. Just from the point of view that that's all about telling people what to do. And the reason why I became a coach is because you don't tell people what to do. Your job is to help them find out what they need to find out. So you're kind of working with them like that, not like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And also, if you're doing that and you're not learning more yourself about the planet and about the world, then I think you can't really coach. So for me, I'm also I meditate. I'm a mindfulness practitioner, and I read a lot about kind of rewiring the brain, and uh, and improve, how to improve myself so that I can kind of give more to others as well. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that statement. And if anyone tells me that they've learned all they need to learn, I'd be very cynical about that. I'd kind of go, really, really? I don't think we ever learn full stop, do we? We need to keep going and learn more, because that's how we progress. So yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, absolutely.
So what is life to you?
Moving forward and having a sense of my own purpose, which for me is helping other people and being creative and being surrounded by wonderful people and animals who enrich my life. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
So what you have understood all these years living on this planet?
Wow. Well, it's this concept in, and I hope I get this right actually. And if there's any people practicing Tibetan Buddhism out there that know better than me, I hope they set me right. But my understanding from what I've read is that I don't matter, and by that, what I mean is I don't mean I'm not important, but I'm not that important. And I love the idea that all of us actually we're here for a short time and then we're not, and therefore we do what we do while we're here, and that's it. so so I find that very reassuring that we are no more important than anybody else, any other animal, any other country, any other place. And I think at this point, particularly in my life, the one thing that I wish I could see more of for myself, practice for myself and everybody else, is we could share with each other and be more compassionate. Because I think if the world was more compassionate and people were more open to other people's experiences and being there for them as well as themselves, then we make huge progress as a species and help others too. So yeah, I think the world is wounded, and we can set it right, or we can help to set it right.
So when actually you started writing?
When probably about. I did some stuff when I was younger, but I never liked writing because I always felt too lonely when I was doing it. So I started doing it properly about 8 years ago, maybe 7 even. I worked with a mate of mine, and that book started about 10 years ago. It's still not written, still haven't finished it, but on my own for about 7 years. Yeah.
7 years. How many books you have published and you have wrote, which are not published total?
Oh, I've got, well, short stories wise, I've probably got about 10 that are good enough if I did more work on them. And I've got another 10 that are all over the place that need intensive work and time. I've attempted to write 3 novels, and I juggle between them depending on when I get fed up and think I can't do it anymore, and then go back to it again. So, and I've got more ideas than I probably have time on the planet, to be honest. So I feel really blessed with that as well. So just keep going and getting better, I think, is the plan, and hope that one day my aim would be to have a book of just my short stories on their own. That'd be lovely. And somewhere out there, I suppose it'd be even better if I could have a novel published. But I'm not sure I've got that in me. But we'll see. I'll keep working. See what happens.
What inspires you to write stories every day, to have the same intensity and same interest?
I think compassion, and also the belief that maybe I've got something to say that's not been quite said like that before. I think at my best, I can say some stuff that people haven't heard of. At my worst, I sound like a bad copy of other people, but at my best, I think I've got something to add, something of value to say. So yeah, that's the drive, I suppose, to get better at doing that and do it more often.
So what is the effect that you expect from the world once you publish and once the book reaches to the audience?
So once people have read the stories, you mean?
Yeah. What is the effect that you want to create in the people who reads your book?
I think either thoughtfulness or recognition of what my characters go through, or just a sense of appreciation for the things I write, or well, anything, any reaction. If someone reads it and they hate it, I mean, they've read it, they've taken the time out to read it, and I appreciate that. So, and obviously, not everyone's going to write like what I write or the way I write it. So I think just people being bothered enough to take the time to read my work, that'll be awesome. Yeah, that'd be mega. Yeah.
Okay. So business, writing and coaching and meditation. So all these in one person's mind. What do you say about this?
I don't know how. I don't know how I do it. And I'm still new. I'm still fairly new at all of it. So I find it quite humbling, I think, in some ways. but also I've got a very busy brain, and I've also had, until recently, I've had a condition that has made me not able to do a lot. Like sometimes I couldn't walk, sometimes I couldn't talk, and I had pain all over my body all the time. It's for about 20 years. So I've had a lot of time to kind of sit and not be able to do other stuff. So I think I just feel grateful, really, more than anything. I What I was doing before didn't always satisfy me, and I didn't fit in with the school system here. I wasn't what they wanted, and they certainly want. The schools, certainly the way they think aren't the way that I think. So there's a lot of students who are very thankful, which is great. But I'm better off out of that. I'd rather do 4 things that I love than the one thing that was sometimes great, but often wasn't. Yeah. I'm just thankful to be on the planet, still here, and getting well and doing what I do.
So, how writing helped you in your life, and what is the change that you observed in your life after you publishing books or writing books or telling your thoughts and feelings through using your words, your own words? What is the change that you observed in your daily life?
I think finding my, do you know what? I think finding my voice. I think actually, I think the first time, and it wasn't when I was published, when my short story was published. I think the first time I finished a piece of work, a short story, and it was good enough, and I read it back, I was like, oh my gosh, I can make this. And other people, I have a very good set of people around me that read my work, and they give me kind of feedback on it, and they really help. They all really help. So I think just having that network and feeling like I could hear my voice, hear my author's voice. That was very exciting, and that affected how I felt about myself, all the other parts of my life. I always say, like, I had all these romantic ideas about being a writer, like going to the coast and sitting on the sea and writing stories and tearing your heart out and all the rest of it. But actually, I realized I was a writer when one day I was editing a piece, like changing the sentences, moving words around. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so dull. It's so boring. And I was like, yeah, this is the real deal. Because once all that's done, then you step back and you really get into it, but it is a bit dull to explain it. And then you step back and you go, wow, or you go, what the hell have I done? But you do something. So I think that's it. Yeah, just feeling like it's mine.
This collection of words, this collection of sentences, collection of stories you are expressing, you're telling to the world to impress, or you just want to express?
Oh, not to impress. I don't, people keep saying to me, oh, you could be the next J.K. Rowling. And I'm like, no, I can't. She's J.K. Rowling. And I don't, only 2% of people are lucky enough to get published, of writers. Nearly every single writer is earning about 3,000. If they're lucky, they're earning about 3,000 UK pounds a year, if they're lucky. And I'm not doing that. So it's not about fame. It's definitely not about fame or glory. And although I'm inspired by, I don't actually, dare I say it, I don't like Harry Potter. There, it's out. I've said it. But I do love the other books she's written under a different name about this detective called Strike. So J.K. Rowling is she's a real source of inspiration for me, because I think she's such an incredible writer. But I don't need that. If publishing houses like Incandescent and Arachne Press that aren't what they call the big four, so like the ones that are really global, if they can see the value in my work enough to want to publish a story of mine, Just doesn't get any better than that. And I remember saying to myself last year when Time and Tide came out, and I saw for the first time print my name and all these wonderful writers and poets around me, that I was one of them. I realized, you can be published for the first time once, but you can never be unpublished for the first time. So nobody can ever take that away from me. I'll always be the guy that has been published at least once. And now I'm lucky enough to say 3 times with 3 short stories. So yeah, I think that's it. On the other hand, if I did pick up a following, that'd be incredible, but it's not necessary. I want people to like my work, and I like it when people do, but I'm not looking for fame or glory.
So if it is mandatory for you, if you feel that this is very important, will you use your effective and impactful words to construct and to destruct society?
It's exactly what I do. And I think in the past, particularly with the novel, I've been very angry about it. Very, very left wing. I have been very intolerant about the amount of intolerance there is, particularly in the UK. But when lockdown started, I made it a mission of mine. I wanted to practice for more compassion in my meditation, and that's what I've been trying to do. So now I'm trying to kind of look at society, I suppose, but have some compassion for people, for all people, regardless of how destructive I think they are or aren't, and what their actions lead to. So I'm in an interesting phase of development, I'd say, with that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's exactly what I want to do. Yeah.
So at last, do you have anything to say about yourself that you didn't say to anybody on this world, even to the people who are emotionally connected to you, and even to your readers through your books? Do you have something to say through my video to my audience and to the entire world who watches this video from anywhere on this planet?
Yeah, I guess if I'm lucky enough for people to feel that way, talk to me, contact me. Love to be in dialogue, and find out what other people's thoughts are as well. Because coming back to what you said before, I think the way we keep learning is by opening our ears and listening to others. I really, really appreciate your questions. Actually, they've been incredible. I've really enjoyed doing it.
So have you seen any previous videos of mine on YouTube?
No, because like I say, I mean, I'm so bad on social media. So I only saw, I know you sent that invite to me quite a while ago, but I literally saw it this morning at 7:30 when I was writing another post. And then I was like, oh, wow, what now? Okay. So like I say, I scrubbed up quick, had a shave, and I've dived into it. I will look at more of your videos after this, definitely. But yeah, I've gone into this completely cold and not knowing what to expect. So I hope that's not shown too much, but I really like your slant on the world and the way that you're looking at things and the kind of questions you're asking, because they are meaningful questions, and that's it's great to have a chance to kind of talk that way. Yeah.
If you have time, whenever you feel free, you're free, watch my videos. I did more than 120 videos from who are authors, who are writers, who are psychologists, who are life coaches, and who are a lot of
So
different
basically,
people.
all the things I do. I have got my other kind of training is in psychotherapy as well, although I've never been a counsellor. So it sounds like I've ticked every single box that you're talking to at the moment. That'll explain why I've really enjoyed your questions so much. Clearly, your kind of interests are completely coinciding with mine. So no, I definitely will, and I'll spread the word as well.
Can I put this recorded video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you want me to send you some links for how people can get in contact with me and just my kind of my web pages and stuff, because obviously there's two lots. I'll happily send those to you.
And send me your book link. I'll put in the description of this video. People who find this video on YouTube will find your book, and they'll know about your book. And send me all the links.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'll do that. It might be quite a list, but I'm really happy to do that. That's very generous of you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and also I'll put this video on all other social networks for promotion and for other purposes. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if you let me know when, I'll put them into my feed as well and say, you know, big up. What we've been doing. I really enjoyed talking to you. I think clearly we're very like-minded, which is always a nice thing to find.
Thanks, Nil. Keep going, keep writing, keep inspiring people, keep try to change something which you can change. That you have some unique quality, some unique way of expressing things. I'm sure a set of people, the people who connect with your thinking, will definitely get affected and will uh, expect more from you.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And likewise, keep me posted with what you're up to and what you're doing, because you're doing the same, really, aren't you? So yeah.
Thanks again.
All right, conversation to be continued, I think.
Yeah.
And have a great rest of afternoon for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right. All the best.
Yeah. Bye.